The courtroom is hushed until the gavel comes crashing down. Kody Brown, the former self-proclaimed patriarch of Sister Wives, now stands shaking as the judge gives him a stern look. The biting words slice through the air. "Mr. Brown, you are under arrest." Gasp is heard ringing out across the room, and behind the gasps are the women who used to call themselves his wives. What betrayal did Kody perpetrate? And why are Christine, Janelle, and Meri willing to reveal secrets that will cost him everything? Stick with me, because the tale you are about to hear will forever change the way you look at the Brown family. Our imagination camera sweeps across a crowded courtroom in Flagstaff, Arizona. The atmosphere is tense, heavy with judgment, as if all the people inside know that history is about to be made. Kody Brown, wearing a black suit but perspiring, fidgets in his seat. His yellow hair appears disheveled, his jaw set tight. He's no longer the beaming TLC reality show father. Today he's a man whose accusations might land him in jail. Christine Brown, once his spiritual wife of over 2 decades, sits just rows behind him. Her face is firm, her eyes locked on Kody with a coldness that only years of betrayal could create. Janelle, beside her, is composed but tense, clutching a stack of papers. And Meri, the woman who gave Kody his very first chance at love and family, avoids his gaze entirely, her lips pressed into a thin, unbreakable line. The judge clears her throat. The echo rings out. She reads the charges slowly, as if each word is crafted to cut through the silence. Fraud, deception, and a scandal in excess of $750,000. The words hang in the air like smoke. Cameras are not permitted inside, but if they were, this moment would shatter the internet. Kody glances towards his attorney, furiously whispering, head shaking. He claims he's innocent. To the women observing him, however, this is no longer about the money. It's about years of distrust, favoritism, and a man who never ever put one wife, Robyn, above all the others. Abruptly, Christine stands. Her voice is not quivering. She requests to speak. The judge grants her permission, and Christine moves toward him, her heels against the wooden floor. She doesn't glance at Kody as she starts to speak. She addresses the judge and the gallery. "This is not about stolen money," she says, her tone biting but with an underlying tinge of pain. "This is about a man who manipulated his family, who left his children emotionally abandoned, who lied to women who trusted him. I kept quiet for years. Not today." Kody glares at her, his lip twitching as though he's about to burst. But Christine doesn't blink. With each utterance, she slices deeper, drawing a portrait of betrayal that the court and the audience back home can't look away from. And just when you think Christine has had enough to say, Janelle stands up too. She's the one who's been holding the papers, the proof. Her icy but lethal tone lets you know she's been waiting for this moment. What if everything you've ever believed about Kody's money was all a fabrication? Stick with me, because the reality that Janelle is about to share will leave you stunned. The judge leans forward, her glasses catching the dim light of the courtroom. All eyes turn to Janelle Brown, who holds a thick folder of papers in her hands. The papers tremble slightly in her hands, not from fear but from the heaviness of the truth she is about to reveal. Kody slumps back in his chair, his jaw clenched, as if preparing for impact. Janelle approaches the witness stand. Her voice is firm, her words ringing through the hushed courtroom. "For years," she starts, "I thought we were a family. I thought Kody was truthful about our finances, our loans, our future. But behind closed doors, he was constructing another." She opens the folder and pulls out a single piece of paper. "This is a bank statement from 2019. Here is a $250,000 withdrawal from our family account. Money that was meant for our children, for our homes, for our future. Instead, it vanished." Gasps ripple through the gallery. Christine covers her mouth. Meri squeezes her hands tightly together. Robyn shifts uncomfortably, eyes darting toward Kody, but she says nothing. Kody finally bangs his hand on the table, his attorney pulling at his sleeve to quiet him. "This is absurd," he yells, his voice ringing in the room. "That money was invested in our land in Coyote Pass." But Janelle will not back down. She pulls off another sheet, her tone acerbic now, driven by years of pent-up anger. "Investments? That's what you're calling secret deposits into an account in your name only? That's what you're calling $50,000 cashier's checks made out to cash? We trusted you, Kody. I trusted you. The courtroom seems to grow smaller with each sentence, the walls closing in. The judge holds up a hand for quiet, but the emotional tempest is already raging. Christine bends towards Janelle, her voice barely above a whisper. Show her the contracts. Show her everything. With careful deliberation, Janelle sets another stack of papers on the judge's desk. These are agreements Kody entered into with third-party businesses. He pledged partnerships, investments, possibilities, but each of them failed. And when they did, he paid the losses, out of our funds, out of the funds of women he vowed to love and protect. The judge reads the papers, a mask on her face, but the crowd doesn't require her to tell them this is explosive. Meri rises at last, her voice low but shaking. I always believed the betrayal was personal, she says, her eyes fixed on Kody. I thought it was just me that he didn't love me anymore. But this, she waves toward the papers. This proves he betrayed all of us. Kody's face grows red, his hands wrapped around the table until they're white-knuckled. He attempts to say something, but his lawyer leans in close, whispering frantically, and grabs him back into his chair. The oppressive silence that follows is thicker than any words possibly could have been. The truth is revealed, but the scandal goes deeper than anyone could have imagined. And just when things look like they can't possibly get any worse, Meri suggests she has a secret even Christine and Janelle are unaware of. What if the $750,000 scandal is not the entire picture, and Meri has in her possession the one piece of information that can bring down Kody's final defense? Follow me, because what she says next will rock this courtroom to its foundations. The air inside the courtroom seems to crack at the slightest word. Janelle makes her way back to the bench, her hands still shaking from the evidence she revealed. Christine's face is pale, her eyes fixed on Kody like knives. But now it is Meri who garners the judge's interest. For a moment she does not speak. Her silence is almost more forceful than Janelle's accusations. At last Meri rises, running her hand over the front of her jacket. Her voice is low, trembling, but every word slices with a sharp edge of truth. I was first, she says, eyes not on Kody, but on the judge. The first wife, the one who trusted him, who stood up for him, who stood by him when no one else would. I sacrificed my legal marriage so he could marry Robyn, because he said it was for the family, for the children. But Your Honor, it was a lie. Gasps echo throughout the gallery. Christine blinks wildly. Christine's lips slightly part in shock. Even Janelle leans forward in shock. Meri moves closer, her voice swelling. I didn't lose just my legal status as his wife. I lost my savings. I lost ownership of property that belonged to me. And I lost it because I signed papers Kody presented to me, papers I didn't completely understand, papers he told me were temporary. Kody's head whips back up. That's not true, he bellows, his voice cracking. His attorney attempts to reassure him, but he is trembling with desperation. Meri, don't you dare. But Meri interrupts him. Her voice is steel for the first time in years. Don't what, Kody? Don't tell the truth. You said those papers were for the good of the family, but they opened up my money to you. Money from my business. Money I earned. And where is it now? Gone, all of it. The courtroom breaks out in murmurs. The judge elevates her gavel, quieting the pandemonium. But the tension will not abate. Christine buries her face in her hands, her shoulders convulsing as if the burden of deception has finally destroyed her. Janelle, impassive, spits out the words. So that's where it went. Meri's voice breaks, but her words cut more deeply than ever before. I thought the betrayal was emotional, that he didn't love me, that I wasn't enough. But now I see, it was never about love. It was about control, about money, about power. Robyn, who is sitting off to the side, finally weeps. This is not fair, she cries. He did it for us, for the children, but she is unable to continue, because Kody's scowl silences her. The judge leans back in her chair, her eyes narrowing. She's heard enough to know this isn't simply a family spat. This is a scandal born of manipulation and deceit. She takes furious notes, her pen scratching at the page, the sound slicing through the silence. And then, when it seems the room can't take another bombshell, Meri delivers her last. There's something that none of you know, she whispers, her voice shaking now. Something Kody kept from me, even as he didn't share it with you until I uncovered the evidence. And it's not just about the money, it's about the law. Christine glares at her, Janelle's eyes go wide, and even the judge is leaning forward. Kody clutches the table, his knuckles white, sweat forming on his forehead. Because if what Meri said is true, this isn't a scandal. It's a crime that lands Kody in jail for years. What if the $750,000 wasn't stolen, but laundered, passed through names and accounts that could incriminate each of us in this room? Bear with me, because in the next session, the walls around Kody Brown will finally begin to topple. The courtroom is in suspended animation, all eyes on Meri. The judge hunches over her hand above her gavel, but she does not intervene. Even she recognizes something historic is about to be revealed. Meri takes a shaky breath, her voice almost breaking. After the divorce, when Kody convinced me to give up my legal marriage so he could wed Robyn, I thought I was being selfless, but months later I started getting calls, letters, banks asking about accounts in my name I'd never opened, accounts tied to transactions I didn't recognize. Christine's eyes go wide, her mouth opening in shock. Janelle says, "Oh my God," and reclines, the enormity of it settling in. Meri clutches the railing of the witness stand, her knuckles pale. I dug deeper, and what I discovered was that Kody used my identity, my signature, my trust. He laundered thousands of dollars through accounts associated with me, accounts that I never even accessed. If those dollars were tainted, if they were laundered, then by law I was an accessory without even realizing it. The room explodes. Gaspings, murmurings, even weeping sound through the room. The judge thunders her gavel, yelling for order, but the words linger like smoke, impossible to hold back. Kody leaps up from his chair, face flaming, voice thundering, lies, all of it. She's manipulating everything. I did what I had to do to defend this family. His attorney grabs at his arm, but Kody shakes him loose, shaking a shaking finger at Meri. You feel like you're a victim? You were bitter. Bitter because I moved on. Christine springs to her feet, her anger bubbling over. Moved on? You mean abandoned? You left us all to rot while you played house with Robyn. And when the money ran out, you used us. You used her. You used all of us. Her voice breaks, and the courtroom falls silent for a moment, the rawness of her pain hanging heavy in the room. Robyn weeps softly, her shoulders trembling, caught between standing up for Kody and folding under the pressure. She murmurs, half to herself, "This isn't how it was supposed to be." The judge fixes her eyes on Kody. "Mr. Brown, you will sit down, now." Her tone has authority, even he can't afford to disobey. Reluctantly, slowly, he drops back into his seat, his chest pumping. Janelle stands up again, her tone more subdued than Christine's, but no less biting. "It was never about polygamy, was it, Kody? It was about control. You made us, our trust, our marriages, even our children, into pawns. And now, it's all collapsing." Kody's hands convulse as he clutches his papers, ruffling through them as though an explanation that hasn't been written yet will somehow appear in the white space. His attorney whispers urgently, but the man who had dominion over 4 wives appears to be a trapped animal now, a cornered and desperate creature. And just when it seems that the flame cannot get any hotter, the judge goes and does the unthinkable. She leans forward, her tone steady but firm. "In light of the testimony and the evidence presented before it, this court has no alternative." Her words dangle in the air like a guillotine poised to fall. The gallery inclines, the wives are holding their breath, and Kody lowers his head, his sweaty face glistening. "Mr. Brown, you are hereby placed under immediate arrest, pending further investigation." The bailiff moves in, the ring of handcuffs sounding louder than any cry. Christine gasps, Janelle breathes in sharply, and Meri's eyes shut, as if letting go of years of pent-up anguish. Kody spins around, crazed-eyed, toward Robyn. "You have to make it right. You're all I have left." But Robyn, shaking, doesn't budge. Sobs spill down her face, and for once even she doesn't rush to his side. But here's the thing. Is this really the end of Kody Brown? Or is there one more secret he's keeping? Bear with me, because the last chapter will tell if this family gets justice, or if betrayal goes even deeper than we thought. The click of the handcuffs encircling Kody Brown's wrists echoes in the courtroom like the ring of a church bell. He paraded for years, as leader of a large plural family, a man who boasted leadership, faith, and love. Now he is a figure, slouching in shackles, his golden locks sweaty and rumpled, his wild eyes as he's escorted toward the holding cell. Christine stands and watches him walk away, her arms clasped tightly against the chill across her chest. Her complexion is pale, but her eyes are shining with something the others know at once. Not triumph, but freedom. For the first time in years, she no longer feels trapped in the dark of his domination. Janelle breathes shakily, clamping her hands together. Her practical, level-headed nature cracks as tears spring into her eyes. It didn't have to be like this, she breathes. We could have had a life, an honest-to-goodness life, if only he chose honor over pride. Meri sits silently, eyes cast down to the highly polished floor. The burden of her testimony is heavy on her shoulders. She has exposed him, yes, but in so doing, she has slit open her own wounds for the world to view. I gave him everything, she speaks softly, as if to herself, and in return, he gave me nothing but shame. Robyn stands stock still, her face smeared with tears. She slowly shakes her head, as if she won't accept the truth before her. This isn't him, she croaks. He's not a criminal. He's just misunderstood. He was defending us. But she speaks to silence. Even she, Kody's staunchest advocate, can no longer convince herself. The judge bangs the court, her gavel sounding like thunder. The onlookers file out, whispers in the air, but the wives stay put. For the first time, they are together. Not as sister wives, not as competitors, but as women who rode the same storm out. Christine finally breaks the silence. We can't let this define us. We're more than what he turned us into. Her voice trembles, but her resolve is strong. We have to reclaim ourselves. For our kids, for our lives. Janelle nods slowly. Meri wipes her tears, straightening her posture. Even Robyn, though shattered, clings to her children's names, like a lifeline. Kody's voice echoes faintly down the hall, as the bailiff leads him away. This isn't over. You'll regret this. His words are desperate, hollow threats, but they hang in the air, like the last gasp of a crumbling empire. The wives exchange glances. For once, they don't argue, don't look away. They simply sit together in the same silence that Kody left behind. And as the doors slam shut on this chapter, one final question lingers. Is this really the end of Kody Brown's reign, or merely the start of another scandal waiting to emerge? What do you think? Was justice finally served on Kody Brown, or are the wives keeping secrets of their own? Let me know in the comments, because this is only the beginning.